Hello, and I am so excited to be bringing you the first installment of Technique Tuesday. Technique Tuesday is going to be the first Tuesday of every month. And basically, how it's going to work is that we're going to feature one lift with two lifters. We'll have two different coaches outside of the OMNI FIT critique these lifts at the same time, and then I'll be splicing them together so that you can see what these two experts in their field see differently about the lift. One of my favorite things about surrounding myself with like-minded individuals is that they will be able to see things that not only I can't see, but maybe something that I didn't even think about seeing. So as the viewer, what I want you to do, the value that you're going to get through these Technique Tuesday installments, is to be able to view these lifts and take them back and look at what you're doing with your lifts. These coaches are going to see things that maybe you didn't even know to look for, maybe that you're doing then you didn't know that you were doing, or maybe you didn't even know that they were wrong. But my goal here is to bring you some information that you can take back to your own training and just be better and just be stronger overall. So I'm really excited about this. For this installment, I've invited my two friends, Stout and Lloyd Herford, to just give us some critiques on the squat. One is going to be from a buddy of mine, Bryce, and the other video is actually myself. So we'll get some critiques going here, and if you have any questions, let me know. And if you're interested in being a part of this Technique Tuesday, then just email Kayla at theomnifit.com, and I'll be able to get you on the list and let you know which lifts that we're working on.
Hey guys, Lloyd Herford here. Gonna do a little critique of a squat video. As we see him get set up, it looks like he's doing more of a high bar squat. Make sure that you know the difference between a high bar and low bar squat and how the technique varies. He's on the high bar right here. We're going to see him come down. His speed is actually pretty on point, but the first thing you'll notice is as he starts to drive his hips upward, those knees are coming in, which is a very natural thing to happen, but it's not something that we want. So we really want to focus on driving those knees outward as we come up. The other big thing I see with the video is there's a little more lean than you want for a high bar squat. High bar squat, you're going to stay more upright. You're going to keep more of the tension usually on the quad, which means that your torso is going to stay more upright, whereas a low bar squat, you're actually going to lean over kind of like he does here. But regardless of lean, you never want your back to get curved, and there's a little bit of curve there, which sometimes happen when it's a heavy load. But we want to make sure that we do a good job of keeping a flat back there. And the best way to do that is to fight your chest upward the whole time, pinch your shoulders back. Then we see a female doing squats at the side angle, and the form, I mean, it looks absolutely perfect. From the side, it's a little bit harder to tell, but it looks like she has it set up on a little bit more of a low bar squat. And then she is driving her hips actually down and back as she comes down, so her toes or her knees are never going over her toes. So really great form on that second squat. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks.
All right, guys, I slowed the video down here a little bit so you could see a little bit easier what I'm talking about when I'm going through the critique. So one of the first things that I see after the walkout is lack of glute activation. For this particular person, it'd probably be good to clench the glutes, push the hips forward so the glutes fire before even going for the descent. You'll notice that the portion between the eccentric and the concentric, there's a little bit of a lag spot there where the torso kind of tilts forward and the knees internally rotate. And usually this is due to either weak glutes or simply lack of activation in the glutes. The stance itself looks okay. I'm not sure what this person's used to, but the stance looks fine. Most of what I'm seeing is probably an issue more so in the hips and glutes. So again, you can see on the side view, walk back, engage the glutes before going down for the first rep, and that way they're already firing. You get that mind-muscle connection, and then at the bottom here, you'll find that you'll probably get a better drive out of the whole, less knee internal rotation, and the whole squat itself will be better. Outside of that, just simply making sure that you're weighting the outsides of your feet, not being too toe heavy, putting plenty of pressure on the flats of your feet. The main issue I see on this squat is the transition from the eccentric to the concentric. There's a little bit of a rebound there, which is fine if you're going for max weight, in some powerlifting cases. But here, you really want to keep the tension on the target muscles, keep them activated. And you can also see that there's a little bit of forward knee drive when the transition's made. So it's going to be important to possibly sit a little more upright and make sure that glutes and hams are fully engaged and there's a little less arch in the back when you're coming up on these. Possibly incorporating some high bar squats from time to time to get used to that upright angle. Maybe even some pause squats as well would be beneficial. But that's the main thing I see here. The speed is pretty even from top to bottom. So really just working on the transition point and keeping tension on the target muscles.